America, we are back, baby. Welcome to another episode of America Unfiltered with James Pascalides. We got a great show for you tonight, everyone. We got a few different things to talk about. I want to remind everyone to please like and smash the follow button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the show. We'll be responding to comments at the end of the show today. We got a lot of comments on yesterday's episode, and the Friday episode from last week got reinstated by Spotify. We'll talk about that a little bit today as well. So we'll read all those comments because I didn't get to read them yesterday. But we're finally going to be able to respond. But yeah, everyone please remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, join our Telegram channel so you can stay updated on all things America Unfiltered. We're going to be talking today about Brett Cooper. Oh, Brett Cooper. She's a Groyper now, apparently. Brett Cooper put out a video today denouncing the Israel lobby and talking about Randy Fine, Mark Levin, the Republican Jewish coalition that happened, or the meeting they had in Las Vegas, the conference. I also want to show some Mark Levin clips that he is now saying that we should be afraid. He's giving direct threats to us. Again, if I got on my show and I was like, he should be afraid, how would they take that? Would I be in jail the next day? Probably. So I find it very odd that consistently Jewish people in American media are able to threaten Americans who don't align with the Israel lobby and get away with it, and nothing is done about it. We had the Aaron Levitsky thing. We had multiple instances of people threatening Evan Kilgore. We also now have Mark Levin saying that we should be afraid. So we're going to talk about this today, but just to give you guys a little spoiler, Brett Cooper as a woman has bigger balls than Mark Levin. And Mark Levin looks like a ball. He looks like a shriveled up old testicle. So we're going to dive into all that today. I also want to talk about the elections happening. It looks like it's going to be a clean sweep for the Democrats, most likely. That's what Kowalski is predicting, at least. And then I want to finish off the show today talking about this Todd Kowalski thing. I mean, again, I'm not going to dive too deep into it. It will be a quicker part of the show, but this should be a lesson to all young women and all fathers and mothers around the country on why you need to be better parents and why you need to remove the radical feminist movement from your household. So we're going to talk about all this today. We got a great show for everyone. Hope you guys enjoy. Please, again, before we start, remember to like, smash the follow button, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the show. We're going to get right into everything today, though. I do want to start off with this Brett Cooper clip. I'm going to get it pulled up for you guys right here. Actually, before we do that, let me talk about this Spotify thing. This I found very interesting. So Spotify removed my Friday episode under they said it violated their content guidelines around hateful content. And I talked about this very briefly yesterday, but we're going to address it more today because yesterday was, if you call it yesterday's show, it was a very passionate, emotional show where we spoke about Ben Shapiro calling me not an American and calling anybody who supports Nick Fuentes not an American. But yesterday during the show, I briefly touched on it. Spotify decided to delete one of my episodes saying it was hateful. And I reviewed the entire transcript. I even went back and watched the entire episode saved on my hard drive. And I could not find anything that violated Spotify's content guidelines. And then the only thing I could find is when I was reading the responses to the Heritage Foundation's tweets that maybe Spotify, the AI detection system, thought that those were my words when I was reading the tweets aloud and I was responding to them. And then I contacted Spotify about this, and it seems like that was the case. It seems like my episode was deleted because they thought I was a Jewish extremist telling people. Again, I'm not going to say exactly what the tweet said because I don't want this video to get taken down, but if you guys go watch Friday's episode, it's back up, you guys can see they were giving war calls. They were saying terrible, corrupt things. They were saying terrible things about regular, everyday, hardworking Americans who just do not want to support Israel financially and militarily. So I thought that was really interesting that they want to call us so hateful and us violent and they want to call us all these names. But me reading one of their tweets gets one of my episodes taken down because their tweets are so fucking hateful. So filled with hate, vulgarity, and vengeance that these people cannot control themselves sometimes. And again, it's not a generalization of the entire Jewish population. It's just saying the very loud Zionists on X right now who are trying to attack anybody on the America First side. You guys have some very dangerous rhetoric, and Spotify even seems to agree. So they reinstated the episode because they realized I wasn't the one saying those things. So thank you, Spotify. I really appreciate that. We got to support Spotify for that one. But I do want to get into the show. I want to show this Brett Cooper clip. This I thought was... Oh, Brett, you're getting more beautiful by the day, baby. We're going to watch this real quick. Oh, sorry. Let me fix the audio there. Sorry about that. Give me a second.
Who he is. He's a representative from Florida. He's the same guy who bragged about not washing his hands after he had a handshake with Netanyahu. He's repeatedly introduced bills to criminalize anti-Semitism, infringing upon free speech. I mean, he obviously, I'm sorry to say, but he obviously cares more about Israel than he does, principles like free speech. So, buddy, like, my advice to you, Randy Fine, is just move to Israel at this point. Like, considering you had to go through anger management classes a few years ago, I genuinely think you would probably be happier if you just moved to Israel. And that's not a dig at him. That's just a fact. It's a nudge of encouragement. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be healthy. I think you would be happier if you just moved to Israel. You could be over there singing songs with Mike Huckabee.
Oh, yeah. He could be dancing, too, with the dancing Israelis. Oh, Randy Fine, you fat fuck. I pray you leave this country. You are despicable. Randy Fine is the, let's see if I have it, actually. I think I might have it pulled up here. Give me one moment. But Randy Fine is he's this guy right here. Oh, the fucking, it gets cut off. Let me fix this. Give me a second. Yeah, so there's a picture of a dead baby getting pulled out of the rubble, and he goes, quite well, actually, thanks for the pic. What a fucking piece of shit. What a disgusting sack of shit this guy is. Despicable. Like, you cannot defend people like this. You cannot defend... Let me center this back up again, but you guys, we cannot defend people who are literally saying that pics of dead babies are making their day better, like this fucking asshole is. But yeah, Brett Cooper is deciding that she is siding with the America First side and not the pro-Israel shills. So, Brett Cooper, we thank you. We welcome you to the movement. We're very glad you're here. We're very glad that you're on the correct side of history, because it will prevail. It will show itself in the media. It will show itself over time that we are the correct side of history, that America should be a sovereign state. America should be a country that is allowed to police itself, not be policed by a small country thousands of miles away, who does not have America's best interest in mind and who has attacked America on multiple instances. I do want to keep going with some stuff I had ready for you guys. There's another Brett Cooper clip where she is talking about Ted Cruz.
Blinded by your ridiculous, insane hatred of Tucker Carlson that you cannot see how irresponsible and hypocritical you are being. I mean, these tweets from Ted Cruz, I'm going to read you next, are a great example of this. So just a month ago, he tweeted this. He said, "They don't kill you because you're a Nazi. They call you a Nazi so they can kill you. Political violence is a left-wing phenomenon. Enough is enough. We need to shut it down." And then in response to Fuentes and Tucker this week, he tweeted this. "Trump's bombing of the Ayatollah's nuclear facilities made the little Nazi mad. Good." So now you're turning around and you're calling somebody that you don't like a Nazi. You're doing this out of blind rage because you're so angry that the conservative base's attitudes are rapidly changing, that Nick Fuentes is getting national attention, and so you have turned around and in response, you are compromising your own values in anger, which is such a dangerous precedent to set. And unfortunately for you guys, yes, the attitudes are changing. So again, it makes sense why this group is incredibly frantic. You are so...
Yeah, Brett Cooper, again, another W. She's got balls bigger than Levin. She's got balls bigger than Randy Fine's fat-ass stomach. Randy Fine looked like he ate the fridge, like the literal fridge. Guy's fat as shit. But yeah, Brett Cooper, you're a beauty. Thank you for that one. We appreciate you, sweetheart. We appreciate you. Hope your pregnancy and your recent birth went well. We're glad you're back. We're glad. Very glad you're back in the media. But yeah, there's a couple things that I wanted to address from that video. One is when you over time overuse a word, when you're not using it in the correct context, you water down the meaning of it and you push people to a point where they stop caring. And a great example of this is the word racist. So people called anybody who supported Donald Trump a racist. And it watered down the actual meaning of what it meant, what racism is. And then they wanted to apply it, like if you talked about black crime stats, you became a racist. If you talked about IQ differences, you became a racist. If you talked about the failing Chicago public school systems, you became a racist. If you commented on the EBT frenzy where people said they were going to start looting stores, you became a racist. No, that's not racism. Racism would be saying you hate somebody because of their race or treating them completely differently because of their race. So they've watered down a lot of these terms, and Nazi is one of them. You know, when you call people a Nazi because they supported Donald Trump in 2016, when you call people a Nazi because they disagree with your viewpoints on funding Israel, you water down what it actually means. And you push people to the point where it's like, in 2018 or 2016, like getting called a Nazi publicly would be one of my worst fears. But now I literally don't give a shit. I literally do not give a shit what anybody calls me. It does not matter. People could call me every fucking word in the book. They could call me a racist, misogynist, they could call me a Nazi, they could call me literally anything they want. And I don't fucking think about it twice. I don't care about it. Because I know what my beliefs are. And I'm not going to fold under pressure like a lot of these pussies in the media who immediately start apologizing the second somebody's like, you're this, you're racist, you're sexist, you're like, fuck off. You guys, you have overused all those words. You have watered the meaning of them down. And people also have to realize, to address the second point of the video, is why Nick Fuentes is getting so much attention. It's not just because he is constantly correct, although that is a massive factor. The reason Nick Fuentes is getting so much attention is because for decades now, young men, specifically young white men, have been put to the back of the line in every fucking category. They have been closed out of society, closed out of the job market, closed out of consideration for anything. They want to take money from us to give reparations to people who were never owned as slaves, even though our ancestors never owned slaves, a lot of us. And it's just one of the most ridiculous things when they're like, how does this guy get so much motion? How does he have so many people following him? It's because he is one of the only voices speaking out for the disaffected young white men in this country. The disaffected young white men who you didn't give a shit about Ben Shapiro, who you didn't give a shit about Mark Levin, who you didn't give a shit about anyone on the fucking Democratic Party or half the people in the fucking GOP who just left us for shit. They didn't care about us. They were like, oh, white people have it made. We don't have to speak about them. We don't have to do anything to help the white community. As whites are becoming a minority race in the country that we built, and we're seeing Christian values fade in real time in this country that was founded by Christians. So finally, we have somebody who is a very high IQ, very smart person who is speaking about the problems that are happening to white people in this nation, who are speaking about the problems that we face in our everyday lives. And they're so fucking surprised that he has a massive following. It shouldn't be a surprise. And if it is a surprise to you, guess what? You are retarded. If you can't understand that, you are so fucking dumb. You should remove yourself from politics, deport yourself out of this country, and shut the fuck up forever. Because you cannot be that fucking stupid. You can't be that stupid to think, oh, if we isolate white men forever, they'll just be okay with it. If we isolate them out of society and out of every great part of life, every enjoyable part of life, and if we criticize them just for being white, they'll be fine with it because they're white. No, we're not fine with that. We are not fine with being ostracized for nothing. We're not fine with being told we're racist because we're white. We're not fine with being called Nazis because we're white. We're not fine with being called all these things. Again, we're not going to let it ruin our lives, but at the same time, we are going to fight back against it. We are going to push even harder. We are going to do everything we can to push the America First movement forward. Because for the first time in our lives, we have a movement that actually gives a shit about us. The GOP never gave a shit about the life of a white man. The DNC definitely never fucking did. So yeah, it is not a surprise to me, but to some it seems like a massive surprise that Nick Fuentes has the motion that he has. But again, if you can't understand it, you are too fucking retarded to even vote. And I don't feel bad for saying that. We're going to keep going. I saw this, and this was fucking crazy. Shabbos Kestenbaum. Shabbos Kestenbaum said Jewish first, that he is putting his Jewish identity over his American identity.
In 2016, I volunteered for the Jamal Bowman campaign in Ohio. I marched with Black Lives Matter. I marched at the Supreme Court when Roe v. Wade was overturned. So I have some degree of legitimacy or credibility when I say I can compare my progressive credentials to most Jews and really to most Americans any day of the week.
And all this as an Orthodox Jew.
All this as an
Comparing his credentials to most Americans. You marched with Black Lives Matter. That was a scam. You probably posted a black square too, you dumb bitch.
Orthodox Jew. And that was also something I was never really able to articulate or rationalize, how I can have relatively conservative religious principles while at the same time being fairly politically liberal. My cop-out was essentially, well, the two are separate. I don't believe that anymore. I think my religion very much influences my politics. And I think all Jews should be Jewish first, and then based on their Jewish values, vote accordingly.
Yeah, it's just like the women thing. Women are single-issue voters, and it's, are you going to allow us to kill our fucking offspring? And he's basically telling people, he's telling Jewish people in America to be one-issue voters. If we're not going to fund Israel, if the Republican Party was to say we're going to stop funding Israel, don't vote Republican. If the Democrats are going to say it, don't vote Democrat. Like, fuck off. That is not how this country works. This is America first. America first. We live in America, bitch. America. Fuck you, Shabbos. We're going to keep going, though. We're just going to have a fun show today. I had a fucking heated show yesterday, so I just want a little bit more of a relaxed show today. It's not going to be crazy in depth. It's not going to be a lot of crazy rants or anything. I'm going to be responding to stuff and reacting to stuff, but like I said, we had a pretty hectic show yesterday, so we're going to keep it a little more level today. But this is a video of Speaker Mike Johnson talking about the Tucker Carlson-Nick Fuentes interview.
National Review, quick question for you. Tucker Carlson recently gave a pretty friendly interview with Nick Fuentes, an avowed Hitler and Stalin apologist. I'm wondering, given this is a pattern of behavior for Carlson, who's made sympathetic comments in the past about Vladimir Putin and Maduro, do you think that Carlson's views and voice have a place in the conservative movement?
Look, I heard a compilation of some of the worst things that Nick Fuentes has said, and it's absolutely outrageous, some of the things he said, just blatantly anti-Semitic, racist, and anti-American, anti-Christian for that matter. I think we have to call out anti-Semitism wherever it is, and I don't think, whether it's Tucker or anybody else, I don't think we should be given a platform to that kind of speech. He has a First Amendment right, but we should never amplify it. So that's my feeling.
Thank you. Good National Review. Quick question.
The more you try and shut him out of the media, the more you try and shut Nick Fuentes out of the mainstream, the more mainstream he becomes. We live in a generation that is tired of the bullshit. We live in a generation that is tired of the media lies. All we have seen our entire lives is the media lying. Everything we were taught in school, for the most part in history, we found out to be a variation of the truth or a complete, utter lie. So we learn not to trust the justice system in a lot of ways. We learn not to trust the FBI, the intel agencies, the government itself, politicians. One of the biggest sayings is like, never trust a politician or a lawyer. They're just going to fucking lie to you. So I don't know. I mean, this fucking person is... everybody who doesn't understand why Nick Fuentes is getting as big as he is, and he was pushing into the mainstream before the Tucker interview, before Bradley Martin, before the Dave Smith collab. He was pushing into the mainstream before that, just from his Rumble live streams. What other person is breaking 100,000 live viewers on their live streams recently? What other political streamer is even coming fucking close to those numbers? Nick Fuentes is astronomically higher than every other streamer in the political space. He's smarter than the vast majority of all the streamers in the political space, or the podcasters, or whatever you want to call them. And people like Mike Johnson, who do not understand that, they will be left behind. Again, if you cannot understand why Nick Fuentes is so popular and what made him so popular, no offense, you are so fucking stupid. You do not deserve the right to vote, speak, or be you should just self-deport out of this country. If you can't understand that if you ignore generations of young white men, the people who built this fucking nation essentially, you are going to get them to stand up against the system that exists right now that is not helping them at all. Because again, if we were to just say, if every Groyper was to be like, okay, we're going to abandon Nick Fuentes and we're just going to follow the GOP. How would it benefit my life? I urge anyone in the comments who disagrees with what I'm saying, how would it benefit my life? Because more of my tax dollars would be sent overseas? Because we'd have more mass migration, legal and illegal, but mainly legal? How would that help me? How would it help me that the dollar is worth shit? How would it help me that the housing market is worth shit? And Trump seems to be cozying up to all the people who are selling or buying up all the fucking houses from single families. The foreign nationals, the big investment companies who are buying up the entire inventory of single family homes in the United States. So how would it help me? Because I don't see it. But people keep saying, oh, you should just follow the GOP. You should just get back on the Trump train. It's like, what the fuck is he offering? What is he offering to help me? Because at least Nick Fuentes offers a future that looks after me and helps America. He puts America first. America first, not Israel first, not the GOP first, not the Israeli donors first, not any of that bullshit. America first. That's what we need in this country. We're going to keep going. Again, like I said, it's not going to be a crazy long show or anything today. But yeah, this is the testicle in question. This is Mark Levin saying that we need to be afraid. Message to you, Mark Levin. I'm not afraid of you at all. You look like a shriveled ball sack. You're a disgusting scrotum. That's all you are. Your voice is fucking... I mean, you guys are about to hear it. It's the worst voice I've ever heard.
How about little Ada Fuentes? What did his family do for this country?
What did his family do? His grandpa fought in World War II, pussy.
He do? How about Tucker Carlson? What did he do for the country? He interviews the Qatari, interviews Putin.
His father served in the CIA.
He interviews the lowest of scum, genocidal maniacs from the face of the earth.
He's a journalist.
Now he's attacking Christian Zionists. He's literally attacking the Bible.
Oh, my Lord.
That are evangelical Christian brothers and sisters. And it's not just that. It's Catholics. Ted Cruz is a Catholic. He's a great man. He's out there fighting.
Ted Cruz, you're a Canadian and a pussy. Leave my country. You're not a real American.
They're attacking Christianity. Why? Because Christianity rejects what they're spewing too. Judaism rejects it. Christianity rejects it. Atheists reject it. Agnostics reject it. Gay people, straight people, women, men, we all reject it. So why is it so hard for people in my business or people in leading positions in government to do the same thing? What are they afraid of? They need to be afraid of regular Americans like you and me. They need to be afraid of us. So when they hear stuff like that, they say, what? What are we going to say?
Yeah, I'm not afraid of what you have to say, you dumb old fucking scrotum. You are a man of the past. You're not even a man, actually. But you are a thing of the past. You are a dinosaur. You are a relic. You are nothing. You are literally nothing. You, Ben Shapiro, you guys have no motion. You guys don't have a legitimate following. And your legitimate following that you do have, or your small following that you do have, is on average 70-year-olds. If you look at the cable news statistics or cable TV statistics, it's 70 years of age and older for average cable watchers. You know, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC when it comes to your news programs. So, yeah, I don't think you and your collection of boomer retards are going to be able to stop America first. I actually think you guys are going to be looked on very poorly in history. I think everybody who is making the argument that America first is bad and saying that Nick Fuentes is this, he's that, Tucker Carlson is the second coming of Hitler, you guys are going to be looked on so poorly in history. You guys are on the wrong side of it. You guys are fucking nutcases. I mean, there's no other better way to describe it than you guys are just out of your fucking minds. You guys have no credibility. All you fucking do is lie. You guys don't give a shit about the truth. All you care about is Israel. Like Brett Cooper said, I think you, Mark Levin, Randy Fine, Ben Shapiro, you guys would be a lot happier if you just lived in Israel. Ben Shapiro literally said that the only reason I support America is because they support Israel, and it guarantees that we have a place to fall back to if we need it. Okay, so just leave. If you're waiting for that to happen and you need a fallback, just leave. Go to it now. We don't need you here, Ben Shapiro. We don't need you here, Mark Levin. We don't need you here, Laura Loomer. We don't need you here, Seth Dillon. We don't need you here, Randy Fine. We don't need people celebrating the death of women, children, and journalists. We don't need people in this country who don't want to put America first. If you want to put America first, you're very welcome in America. But if you are unwilling to put America over the Jewish state of Israel, guess what? You're not fucking welcome. If you're unwilling to put America over any country, you're not fucking welcome. But Israel seems to be the one that you cannot criticize. You can criticize literally any country in the world and it doesn't matter. I could say the most grotesque, I could call Muslims a bunch of rapists. I could say that their prophet fucked a child. I could say any fucking thing I want about it and they won't care. I could literally go dive deep into how Muslims beat their fucking wives and they have multiple wives and they live this hedonistic, promiscuous lifestyle that doesn't align with American values, and nobody will say a thing. I could say that Zohran Mamdani should be deported because he's not a real American, because he's Ugandan and he's a Muslim, and they won't give a shit. But the second I say that the Jewish lobby should not be lobbying American politicians to send money to Israel and weapons to Israel, when we get nothing in fucking return, nothing of value, their intelligence is worth shit. Their intelligence is worth fucking nothing. Their intelligence got tens of thousands of Americans killed. If I say that, though, I'm the second coming of Hitler. I'm a huge anti-Semite, and I'm a problem that needs to be dealt with. Who needs to be afraid of Mark Levin? Mark Levin, I'm not fucking scared of you, old man. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you physically. I'm not scared of you mentally. I'm not scared to debate you. I'm not scared to speak with you. I wouldn't be scared to fight you if you challenged me to that. You are a pussy. You're a shriveled up old ballsack. You are nothing. You are scum. You're a liar. You're deceitful. You're a propaganda Hezbollah artist. That's all you are. You are nothing. I fucking hate Mark Levin with a burning... I shouldn't say that. That's sinful. I shouldn't hate anybody. I hate his policies. I hate the things he talks about, and I really dislike the guy. But yeah, I shouldn't say I hate somebody personally. That is sinful. And I'm sorry for that, Lord. But again, I'm human like everyone else. I feel anger. I feel sadness. I feel happiness. I feel every range of emotions that humans are supposed to feel. And I don't claim to be perfect. I'm a sinner like every other person. But when I sin, I actually have the dignity and the respect for my Lord to confess those sins and apologize for them. They will celebrate the death of children and babies, and they'll pray for more of it. They'll say, yeah, send me another picture. A sitting fucking congressman will say, send me another picture. Fucking sick fucks. And then this is fucking insane too. Alan Dershowitz, the frequenter to Epstein Island, the fucking pedophile, and the guy who defended O.J. Simpson wants to make a fucking comment now. Again, shut up, you sick, disgusting fucking pedo.
Remember, the extreme right and the extreme left always have one thing in common. They hate the Jews. Stalin hated the Jews and Hitler hated the Jews. And now we're seeing people on the hard left, Mamdani, hating Israel, hating the Jews. We're seeing people on the hard right, Fuentes and Carlson, doing the same thing. America is a centrist country. It thrives at the center. You can be a centrist Republican like Bill Buckley. You can be a centrist liberal like me. But you cannot be a good American and be a neo-Nazi Holocaust denier or somebody who puts people like that on the air. So shame on Tucker Carlson, shame on Fuentes, and shame on those Republicans who...
Shame on you for fucking children on Jeffrey Epstein's island, you sick fucking disgusting fuck. You are literally the worst scum to walk this earth. And the day we're able to prove that you were on the island fucking kids, I will write every day to whoever's in the presidency to have you get the fucking death penalty. The day we find that out, because no pedophiles deserve to live. They need absolute justice, and absolute justice would be them being put down publicly. Public executions should be brought back legally in America, and it should be done for pedophiles. And Alan Dershowitz, when we are able to prove that, I am, again, going to write to the Attorney General, I'm going to write to the President, I'm going to write to every cabinet member, and every member in your state who represents your district or your state or whatever it is, that you should be ostracized from society, removed completely, and put down like a dog. You are terrible. You are disgusting. You are a fucking pedophile, and you want to police my language? What about, like, where were the police when you were raping kids? Where was anyone policing that? Where was anyone when you were frequently flying to the fucking island to go molest children, and then defending Jeffrey Epstein and defending O.J. Simpson, who chopped his fucking wife's head off? You sick, disgusting fuck, Alan Dershowitz. You want to tell us who we can and can't platform? Go fuck yourself. And this was just fucking funny. I mean, this is just like, again, you can make the argument that maybe every single instance wasn't them doing something wrong, and maybe there were anti-Semitic countries, or there were countries that just didn't look on the Jews favorably and decided to kick them out. But Randy Fine saying that Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived and it's never been our fault is the lack of accountability we talk about. And like, it's like, if you can't acknowledge that there are some bad practices, go fuck yourself. Like, if I can acknowledge the bad practices within the Catholic Church, if I can acknowledge the bad practices within the Muslim faith, and so can you. You have no problem talking about the scandals of the Catholic Church. You have no problems talking about Muslims like they're, scum or gum on the bottom of your shoe. But you say one thing, oh, the Jews did this time. It's like, anti-Semitism, come and save me. Like, shut the fuck up, you fat fucking fridge.
I am here to fight, and we are in a time where we need fighters. We need people to go out and fight. We need people who are not going to be afraid, because if we stay silent in the face of what is coming, not only on the left, but on our own side as well, our time in this country could come to an end as well. Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault. And there are people who would like to do the same to us here. And unfortunately, some of them are in our own party. But I can promise you this, as long as I'm in Congress, they ain't gonna win. So thank you guys for having me.
And it's never been our fault. Never? Never? That's fucking crazy. Again, it's like the 100 women versus accountability thing. What's this reply? One of the things I've told men over and over is if you're being rejected by all the women that you approach, it's not the woman, it's you. Yeah, exactly. If I go to 109 bars and I get kicked out of every one of them, is it my fault or is it the bar's fault? Eventually, you have to realize that it's kind of your fault. And again, maybe it's not always your fault. Maybe there are just some shitty bars that don't like your look. They don't like the cut of your jib, whatever the fuck it is. Maybe something happened. I don't know. But to not be able to acknowledge that some of them were your fault at the very least, like, come fucking on. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is kind of what we're speaking about. It's like, if you can't take accountability and you can't look objectively at things, it's like you should not be holding a government position. You should not be holding a position in the media. I saw this. Israelis say they will never visit New York City if Mamdani wins and becomes mayor. Well, first of all, he is going to win. I'm not very happy about it, but at the same time, I can understand why. I can understand why young people are voting for this guy when every fucking person on the debate stage was like, yes, I'm going to go visit Israel immediately after being elected. And he's like, I'll take care of the Jews who are in New York. I will treat them with respect. I'll visit their synagogues. I'll shake their hands, and I will address the issues they have in New York. But no, I have no business going to Israel. That doesn't make sense. I am the mayor of New York. I'm not the mayor of fucking Tel Aviv. And that's one of the biggest reasons he's winning, is because he is one of the only people taking a hard stance against the Israel lobby. And he also said that he will arrest Bibi Netanyahu if he steps foot in New York City. Based. Again, I don't like the guy at all. I actually despise him, and I think he's a Ugandan piece of shit who should leave my country. He's not a real American. But at the same time, we can acknowledge when a politician says something that we agree with. And yes, Bibi Netanyahu should be arrested. If I was ever to hold power in the government, any level of it, and he came to my state, Bibi Netanyahu came to my state, I would fucking arrest him too. I would slap the cuffs right on him and put him in jail for war crimes. He has killed so many women, children, and right now they're literally trying to dodge this. They're facing a huge amount of scrutiny in the media right now. They actually held a vote in the Knesset about it. But I talked about it briefly yesterday, the IDF soldiers who were running the Israeli prisons that had all the Palestinian prisoners at it, they were caught raping the Palestinian prisoners by jamming metal poles up their asses. And I know that's very graphic for some, and I'm sorry. It's graphic for me to even think about. But that happened, and right now they are saying that it brought so much damage to Israel's image and that it is propaganda people are now going to use. No, it's not propaganda when it happened, when it's on film and video and pictures. There's evidence showing this. There's legitimate evidence that I have seen that shows that this happened. And they're going to be like, no, it's propaganda. No, it's not. It's the same thing as when you attack the USS Liberty and you're like, oh, it's propaganda that we did it on purpose. We thought it was someone else's ship, even though you were flying an American flag. Like, shut the fuck up. You guys are fucking so bad. Why is Israel so bad at propaganda? Like, they used to be good at it. Again, they had America in the first half. For generations, the boomers, the Gen Xers, a lot of the retards in this country just accepted the narrative that Israel is one of the greatest countries who's not trying to fuck over America in any way. And then Gen Z, came in like a bat out of hell, and we're just like, are you guys retarded? Do you guys look at any of the evidence objectively? Do you guys actually listen to anything besides Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, any of the major news networks? Do you guys actually do your own research, or do you just hear Mark Levin say, Jews are always persecuted, no matter what they do, there will always be persecuted? Like, do you guys hear that and you're just like, oh my lord, it must be true? Or do you guys actually do any objective research? Do you guys do any fucking research yourselves? Because it's clear that boomers and Gen X and a lot of these older generations are so fucking lost and retarded and don't know how to actually look into things themselves. I saw this and I thought it was funny from Elijah Schaffer, the CEO of Rift TV, which is great. If you guys don't know what Rift TV is, go check it out. They're great. Go give them a follow. But yeah, this is what the Israel lobby thinks our life is like. This is what the Zionists think our life is like.
Israel is our top enemy. Enemy. Cut off the goddamn funding. You're taking my money to murder Palestinian children. You goddamn racist. We've given Israel $310 billion. And then Israel comes and says, you owe us. Israel controls America. Israel is our top.
It's just funny. It's like 1 p.m., hit the gym. 2 p.m. through 11 p.m. or 2 p.m. through 2 a.m. We're just all fucking day. We're like, Israel. Like, no, shut the fuck up, guy. Again, I talk about other topics too, but I am not going to stop talking about this topic. And the reason I continue to talk about it, like I even said on my show, I was like, now that the peace deal seems to be going through, I'm going to talk about Israel less. And then Israel violated the peace deal like 95 fucking times. And then it came back. And then they held this Republican Jewish committee meeting in Las Vegas. And it's like, what the fuck is that? And then they tried to tear Nick Fuentes down and Tucker Carlson, and they're calling him the second coming of Hitler. And I'm like, okay, I guess we can't stop talking about them because they will never shut the fuck up. Because they will never fucking stop. Because they will never stop trying to propagandize us. They will never stop with the $7,000 payments. It's fucking insane. They think this is what we're like on a daily basis. It's like, no, I fucking hate Muslims too. I can't say that. I can't. I'm kidding, Spotify. I'm kidding. I can't say that. It was a joke. It was a joke, guys. But, where was I? I'm just saying, I think about other things too. I think about mass migration. I think about being replaced in our own society. I think about the housing crisis. I think about the problems that Gen Z is facing. But a lot of it ties back into pro-Israel funding and Zionist funding within America, like the ADL, SPLC. Even if you look at like things like AIPAC, who's one of the biggest donors to AIPAC? The owner of OnlyFans. Another corrupt thing that needs to be rooted out of society. One of my favorite parts of the Tucker and Nick interview is when they said that we should just arrest the porn owners, the porn company owners, and we should take everything they own, all the money they own, we should arrest them. That should be done. Porn should not be protected by the First Amendment. Porn is fucking disgusting and vile and grotesque, and porn it's the devil trying to grab your soul. It's the devil's influence in your life. Porn is terrible, especially for young men and definitely for young women. I mean, young women, literally, the minute, and when I say the minute, I mean this literally, at 12:01 a.m., before they're even legally 18, because they probably weren't born at 12:01 a.m., they are posting their nudes online and saying, I'm 18 now, finally, guys. Go subscribe to my OF. It's like, shut up, slut. No, slut. Go talk to your father. Go touch grass. Go be a normal human. Stop being a whore. Stop being a slut. And that's my message to all these young OnlyFans girls. You are ruining your lives. You're ruining any chance of any future prospects you'll have with a guy. Any husband that will act like the guys who subscribe to your OnlyFans. Are those the guys you want to marry? Do you want to marry a guy who subscribes to OnlyFans? This is a question and message to young women. Do you want to marry a guy who has such a big porn addiction that the free stuff isn't what he wants anymore? He now wants to pay girls to do it. Is that the kind of guy you want to be the father to your kids and marry? Because those are going to be the only guys you're going to be able to marry. Is those, and they might not even want to marry you. But I'm sure there will be some simp who has given you thousands of dollars who will want to marry you. But no guy who has an actual future, career, morals, goals is going to want to be with you. They're not going to want to touch you with the 10-foot stick. Guys don't give a shit about money. Like, here's a little inside baseball at how guys think. It's like, I would rather date a woman who is a waitress at Applebee's making fucking $4 an hour in tips than I would rather marry a multimillionaire, most likely. I don't give a shit about how much money you have. I care if you're a good person. I care if you have values and a good relationship with Christ and your father. That's what matters to me. And that's what matters to the majority of young men. And even if you take the Christ part out of it, because not every guy's religious, not every guy's looking for a woman who follows Christ, but they are looking for a woman with values, morals, and a relationship with their father. Not a woman who's a slut who posts their nudes for $3.99 a month. Like, it's fucking disgusting. This is the video I was talking about yesterday partially. Again, this is the big video that Ben Shapiro posted. Someone in the comments was like, oh, you talked for a while, but you didn't show the video. It's like, bitch, did you want me to show the whole 40-minute video of Ben Shapiro being a retard? Go watch it yourself, you fucking idiot. But this is the video of Ben Shapiro saying the only reason he supports America is because America supports Israel.
Ever wonder if one day you'll have to flee the United States?
I mean, I think that every Jew throughout world history who has a brain and knows history has always wondered if a country that is not a Jewish state is going to eternally provide them security guarantees and full citizenship, of course. I mean, that's I think to think that that's why the existence of the state of Israel is the single greatest guarantor of my loyalty to the United States, frankly. Right? Because Israel exists, that means the United States is going to be a more welcoming place for me, because Israel is there as a backstop in case anything should go wrong.
Yeah, you should just leave.
One day
you should join Randy Fine. You should just get the fuck out of our country. Go back to your homeland of Israel, Ben, because you obviously love it more than America. The only reason you say you love America is because of its affinity for Israel. And this is, again, Ben Shapiro thinks he's doing something with this. But what Ben Shapiro doesn't realize is for 10 years he didn't say this kid's name. He didn't say Nick's name. And it didn't work. And now he thinks that he is going to now say his name and try and denounce him, and that will work. Let me tell you something. This is going to backfire so fucking hard on you, because now more people than ever, people who've never heard of Nick Fuentes are now hearing about him. People who weren't that political are now listening to this clip. It's popping up on their For You page, and they're like, I wonder who Nick Fuentes is. They Google him once, they search him once on Instagram Reels, and then they see 50 of the funniest Reels they've ever seen, and Groypers are born that way. So again, what Ben Shapiro's doing, it's only benefiting the America First movement. Every time Ben Shapiro sits at his fucking desk with his mic and he denounces the Groypers, he denounces America First, he calls us mini Hitler, whatever he wants to fucking say, his propaganda bullshit, every time he does it, it helps us.
I mean, the bottom line is, no matter what.
And one thing I was thinking about earlier too, and we'll watch this in a sec, is that, and it's really cool, is that in my mind, in my predictions, I think in like 3 years, come the 2028 election, I think saying you openly support Israel as an American politician will be literally political suicide. It will be the equivalent to saying you didn't support Israel, 5-10 years ago. It will become political suicide because the people run politics in a way. If you don't think like the politicians are all pandering to the people, you're fucking stupid. Like you could take a good example would be what the conservative movement did with gay marriage and stuff like that. They did not say they, accepted gay marriage, anything like that, until there was an immense amount of pressure from certain lobbyists and gay young individuals who were like, oh, I just won't vote for this person because they don't support my rights. And then the conservative movement started accepting, gay people into the conservative movement, saying, yeah, we should support gay marriage and all these things. They were pandering. All those old people in politics who for their entire lives thought gays shouldn't get married didn't suddenly just turn their minds around and be like, oh, I was wrong my whole life. Gays should be like, that's not how it worked. They were just like, okay, I want the votes. I'm getting paid to say this, so I'm going to fucking say it. They're all political sluts and whores. They don't actually change their minds about things, most of these people. They just adjust what they say based off what they're paid to say and what they're paid to pander to.
No matter what, Tucker seems to be able to find a way to swivel everything into a story about Israel or Mark Levin or Jews in some form or fashion, which, of course, is part and parcel of the fact that he decided to have on the Nazi supporter Nick Fuentes last week and then gloss him. That glossy interview with Nick Fuentes then allowed Nick Fuentes yesterday to take a victory lap over the Vice President, J.D. Vance, because Nick Fuentes believes that since J.D. Vance and Tucker Carlson are personally close, and since Tucker Carlson was able to have on Nick Fuentes and massage him without comment from the Vice President of the United States.
Doing a massage joke when you literally support the people who finance the pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who is getting happy ending massages and raping young girls, is crazy.
That this means that he now has J.D. Vance's candidacy by the short hairs. Here's Nick Fuentes saying just that.
He's getting squeezed.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Groypers are on the one hand saying, hey, listen, fat boy, we want America first. You want to run for president? We want to hear you say America first. And on the other side, he's got his donors, and they're saying they're horrible anti-Semites. You have to disavow them. You have to forcefully condemn them. Condemn Tucker. Condemn the Groypers. Now, if Vance condemns the Groypers, we are deploying to Iowa.
So that's correct. Nick Fuentes is using Tucker Carlson as cover in order to threaten the Vice President of the United States. That's what is happening. So well done to that very, very good friend of the Vice President's, Tucker Carlson. It was really
to threaten them, like, that's crazy for him to say that that's a threat when Mark Levin is literally saying we should be afraid, and they are openly threatening us. Like, didn't Josh Hammer say that we should neutralize Tucker? That seems like a threat. Doesn't seem like a threat to use leverage, political leverage, saying we won't vote for you if you don't say America first. We won't vote for you if you denounce us. How is that a threat? That is leverage. You're a fucking idiot. You're a retard, Ben. Certified retard. Is it just me, or is this fucking kippa getting bigger? Eventually, it's just going to take over his whole head. That's crazy. We're going to go on over to, let's see. I wanted to show you guys this real quick. You guys have probably seen it, but this is on Kalshi. I just want to show you guys the key races. It looks like the Democrats are about to pull a clean sweep. Zoran, 93%. Cheryl, 91%. Spamberger, 99%. This is one that I'm really fucking pissed about. Jay Jones, 63%. It still could flip, but it looks like they're most likely going to get a clean sweep. But Jay Jones is the guy who, again, like, they want to talk about threats. That's the guy who said that kids from GOP representatives should be killed because they are just little fascists in the making. Like, this guy is a sick, demonic fuck. We got one more thing I wanted to show you guys. Then I wanted to talk a little bit about this huge scandal that happened on X. And again, I normally wouldn't talk about something like this, but the reason I want to talk about it is, less to rip on this person. I mean, we're going to rip on her. Slut shaming's back. We're definitely going to rip on this slut. But at the same time, I want to address the bigger issues at hand with this. So let's go into our last thing I wanted to show you guys. It's nothing crazy, but I just saw it and I was like, this is really fucking weird. Tom Brady revealed that his current dog is a clone of his late dog. That doesn't sit right with me. And it's like, if they can clone a dog, how many clones do you think there are out there of humans? Like, even if they just killed them off immediately, like they cloned someone and then they just killed them just to see if they could do it. How many clones do you think have been made or existed of humans? It's kind of scary. And this is something I was thinking about. And again, I know this is like a really micro topic, fairly irrelevant to politics, but it's just like, the way the world is trending is really scary in a lot of ways, and this is something I don't fucking like. He cloned his dog. Like, I knew you could do that. I've heard of it before, but I've never heard someone as big as Tom Brady doing it. And that's fucking weird. That's really, really fucking weird. Let me bring it back to our main screen really quick. Okay, and we're back. I want to talk about this Twitter scandal happening. So a girl named Maddie Kowalski, she goes to the University of Florida, was apparently having sex and fucking any guy who would give her a bag of cocaine. And she got known as Easy DZ because she was in the sorority DZ. This woman has ruined her life and her family's reputation forever. And it is because videos of her doing crazy sexual acts and having sex with multiple people at one time, getting gangbanged, having trains ran on her, terrible, disgusting things, went viral on the internet. And not only did they go viral on the internet, they made it back to her father. Her father opened LinkedIn this morning to see over 25,000 new connection requests. And it was all people saying, check Twitter, your daughter's a slut, your daughter's a whore, you were a terrible father that you allowed some, like, just all things like that. And the overall message I want to give here is obviously we need to denounce sluts. Obviously we need to say that being a slut is bad. It's bad for the soul. It's bad for society. Feminism has gone way too fucking far. The sexual liberation of women has been the destruction of women in the same, the lines are fucking parallel. But we also have to call out bad parenting as well. I mean, this starts in the home. If you don't have a good relationship with your children as a father, that's what you can expect. If you don't put the fear of God into your fucking children, if your kids don't fear you like you fear Christ, this will happen to you. We need to be better parents. We need to be better citizens. We need to abstain from porn. We need to push for porn to be illegal. But we also need to instill good values into the children because, again, it's not just something that's like in someone's mind normally that it's like, I'm just going to go fuck a bunch of guys. That happens from problems in the home. That happens from self-esteem issues. And that doesn't happen to girls who are told they are beautiful by their fathers and have good relationships with their fathers and see a good relationship between their mother and father. It happens to stupid sluts who are feminist retards who think that the sexual liberation of women and fucking 50 guys is going to help them in life. No, it is just going to... It's going to ruin your life. Guys are going to look at you poorly, and you're just a dumb slut. You are nothing more than a dumb whore. And you have ruined your family's reputation over this. You have absolutely ruined your father's reputation over this. Your father can never go golfing again. Every time your father puts a ball in the hole, what are his friends going to joke about? He can never fucking enjoy simple pleasures in life again. He, like, any fucking sex scene he sees in the movie, he's gonna see, oh, fuck, my daughter was doing that, but worse. I mean, this woman, this young girl was getting fucking Eiffel Towered in a frat house on video like it was normal for a bag of coke. This girl is a whore. And again, this is my message to all you young girls out there who think it's a smart idea to go start an OnlyFans and engage in sexual activity. No, it is not. You are going to ruin your life eventually. You should not be having sex outside of marriage, but if you choose to, definitely don't fucking just fuck anybody. Like, are you fucking kidding me? What is that feminism? That's feminism to you? Feminism is a fucking cancer to society. Feminism is ruining women. And it's ruining, again, to think selfishly, it's ruining shit for men as well. I can't date a woman without having to concede on my values if I want to date a woman my age. There are no Gen Z women who are actually dateable at this point. No Gen Z women who aren't utter sluts. And this sucks to deal with. As somebody who's 26, living in one of the worst places in the fucking country to find women, it is fucking hard when every girl you meet is a OnlyFans slut or a demonic whore. So yeah, again, like I said, it's not going to be a long message. It's not going to be a long thing. But my message to that dad is this is your fault. And these are problems that you should have fixed in the home. And to every man watching this, you have an obligation, if you ever have a daughter, to treat her like a princess. You have an obligation, and it's not saying spoil her, it's just saying treat her with respect. Create a good relationship and bond with your daughter that some fucking frat guy can't break for a bag of coke. Because girls who love their parents don't do that. Girls who love Jesus do not do that. Girls who are demonic sluts do that. And they need to be ostracized completely. People engaging in these acts like this are fucking terrible for society. That woman will never be able to get a husband who actually loves her. The husband will always look at her as less than. The dad will always be a laughingstock in his community. He will most likely have to move. So will she. She'll most likely have to transfer schools. This is a life-altering, life-ruining event. And again, some people are going to listen to this and be like, oh, but like, I'm not going to have sex on video. I'm not going to do that. Like, she didn't even know she was being videoed. She was videoed by the security cameras in the frat house. She was videoed by a guy who was peeking in the doorway that no one fucking saw. For people who are like, oh, but I'm not just going to go have sex with guys for drugs. Okay, but if you still have sex with a lot of men, there will be consequences. And you have to realize that there are consequences to your actions. And engaging in slut-like behavior is not going to better your life. It is going to make it worse. So again, that's going to be my message there. That's going to be it. That's going to be the entire show for the day. We're going to go on to the comments in a second. I want to talk about what we talked about today. We talked about Spotify renewing my episode. Base Spotify, we appreciate you for that. We talked about Brett Cooper joining the Groyper movement, it seems like. We talked about the threats we got from Randy Fine, Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, how they say that the only reason, and Shabbos Kestenbaum, that they say the only reason they support America is because they support the Jewish state of Israel. I don't think America should support Israel at all. I don't think we should be supporting almost any foreign nations. I think it's ridiculous. We talked about the elections. We talked about this fucking demonic slut and her father who failed her from the very start. Again, we can put a lot of the blame on this young slut, but we also need to put an equal, if not more amount of blame on her father for not acting like a good dad. And it's not to say it could never happen. Again, I literally made the joke, I don't know, it's got to be 40, 50 episodes ago or so, where I said, imagine being a good dad for 18 years for your daughter to just suck a guy's dick because he bought her a rum and coke and asked her what her college major is. Like, it can happen. Girls can just end up engaging in slut-like behaviors because they have bad friends who are influencing them, and you could do everything perfect as a parent. So I'm not saying it's something that is, completely isolated to bad parents. But in the majority of cases, it is bad parents. And there are women, yes, like I said, who do engage in slut-like behavior, and a lot of it has to do with their slut friends. And what we need to do to fix that is we need to counter the feminist movement. We need to engage in debate against the feminists like Myron has and expose their logic and bullshit because they don't have any logic. When Myron sits down with a bunch of fucking OnlyFans whores and dismantles every one of their talking points, he actually gets through to some people. Some young women who are watching his show. When the Whatever podcast, I don't necessarily love those guys, but when they do it, again, they get through to people. There are some women who have probably watched Myron's streams or have watched the Whatever podcast streams and have been like, oh, I was going to start an OnlyFans, but now I'm not going to because I see how it ruins their life. I see the demonic influence. I see how bad it is for society for me to go fuck 50 guys and expect a guy to settle for me because he would be settling. You want your husband to adore you. You want your husband to respect you and to love you and to cherish you. Guess what? If you're a whore in your teens, in your 20s, in your 30s, no guy is going to respect you. You will get no respect from any man who has any self-respect for himself. If a guy respects himself, which I'm guessing is the kind of guy you girls want to be with, he will never marry you if you engage in slut-like behavior. The only path to fixing anything wrong like that is through Christ. Christ is king. You must repent your sins. You must confess your sins, and you must ask for forgiveness. And it's not to say that every guy is going to still look favorably on you if you act like a slut and then you go confess your sins and you don't commit sins anymore. Guys are still going to look poorly on you. So again, I urge you women who are thinking about doing this, who are watching, the pop culture feminist movement where it's like people like Ariana Grande or Billie Eilish or whoever the fuck it is dressing naked. Sydney Sweeney dressing fucking naked on a red carpet. Like, that is not good for women. That is not good for women anywhere. And I'll rarely speak about what's good for women on this show. This show is mainly targeted towards young men, but we have to acknowledge these problems. We have to acknowledge them, or else they will continue to get worse. We're going to go on to our comments, though. It's been a fun show. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm just closing out some of these tabs, pulling up the comments. We got a good amount of them. We got a lot of I got a lot of good feedback on yesterday's show. A lot of comments. And then we also got a lot of comments to read from Friday's episode that I did not get to yet. So we're going to go into all that. Give me one moment. Let me get it pulled up here. First comment goes, love your show. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please remember to rate the show 5 stars. Smash the like and follow button. Join the Telegram channel to stay updated. Thank you, though. Let me throw a heart on that. Someone goes, fuck Ben Shapiro. I bet you that jackass was on Epstein Island. And there's really no evidence to show he was on Epstein Island, but he did defend a lot of the people who were on Epstein's Island, which is just as bad in a lot of ways. But yeah, I agree. Fuck Ben Shapiro. Someone commented the Israeli flag like 40 times. Like, I didn't ask to be raped. Stop. Then I wrote back, I go, if they pay $7,000 for a post, what do they give you for a podcast comment? And then he goes, unlike you, I'm not in it for the money. Yeah, you're a retard. I've been doing this for, 11 months now, and I didn't start getting paid for it until a month ago, and I barely make shit. Like, suck my dick, you fucking retard. And if you watched the show yesterday, you would know I would do this shit for free the same way I have because I love this fucking country. Unlike a lot of the Zionists who are only supporting this country because it supports Israel. Fucking idiot. Someone says, love this one. You said a lot that needs to be said. Thank you, brother. Glad to see there's still Americans with fucking balls to speak up. Yeah, again, balls bigger than Texas, babe. No, I'm kidding. Brett Cooper's got balls bigger than Texas. Brett Cooper has massive Brett Cooper pulls out her cock and it's fucking just like that. That's Brett Cooper's got, she's packing. Brett Cooper, props to you, bitch. You got balls. But yeah, I appreciate your comment. Thank you so much. Let me throw a little heart on that one. Someone said, hey, this is misspelling retard, and I just wanted to say, great show. Anyone against that Ben Shapiro is okay with me. I don't get the first part. You didn't misspell retard, to my knowledge, unless I'm retarded. I don't understand the first part, but yeah, Ben Shapiro's he's scum. Ben Shapiro's an asshole. Someone said, general question, do you plan on doing interviews on your show or stick to the solo approach? I would love to do some interviews. I've done some debates on here. I debate almost every day on either StreamYards or on TikTok and in X Spaces. But yeah, I would definitely, as I grow more, would love to do some collabs and interviews. To list some people off the top of my head, in case any of my viewers know any of these people. I would love to interview Sarah Stock. I'm going to list smaller people because obviously there are major ones. Like I would love to interview Tucker. I would love to interview Nick. Like those are obvious shit like that. But I would love to interview Sarah Stock. I would love to interview someone like Aiden Ross or Sneeko. I would love to interview, I feel like I would be getting interviewed, but like Bradley Martin. I would love to interview Dan Bilzerian would be a really interesting one. Let's see. I would even like to interview some people I disagree with. I would love to interview like Randy Fine. I would love to interview Ben Shapiro. Like I would love to interview any of these people I disagree with, but they wouldn't do it. They're pussies. Someone said, it's about America. Because yeah, it's not about me, bitch. It's about America. This is not about me. This is not about what I want. This is about what America needs to happen to survive. And that's what they don't fucking get. They think this is about our personal beef with what they call Jew. Like, no, it's not. It's about America. It's about America is getting fucking raped, robbed, and looted in real time, and we are trying to save it for the future generations of Americans who haven't even been born yet, who will be born into a country that doesn't give a fuck about them because they're white Christians. Someone goes, have you seen the video Ben Shapiro trying to act tough then knocks himself out with a speed bag? Haha, what a nerd. Who cares about that, J nerd? Haha, I bleed red, white, and blue. Ben bleeds the gay flag. When is Spotify going to allow us to drop memes in the chat? Yeah, when is Spotify going to allow us to drop memes in the chat? But to answer the first part, I don't think that video is actually Ben. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I think it's just a kid who looked like him. I could be wrong. It could be Ben Shapiro, but I don't think that's Ben Shapiro. If that was actually Ben Shapiro, it would be under every one of his videos he ever posted forever. I don't think it was actually him. I just think it was someone who looked like him. But it was very funny. I do agree. So I train MMA, so I find shit like that hilarious. I don't know if I should read this one after Spotify deleted one of my videos because I was reading something someone said. But this guy goes, I hope Josh Hammer gets blank because 12 large autistic clowns. Just kidding. Hold the beef. I don't like the violence. In all seriousness, Josh Hammer should be prosecuted and charged for inciting violence. Yeah, he should be. Again, the only reason I bleeped that out in the beginning is because Spotify took down one of my things. I'm not trying to poke the bear immediately after. I'll still be very unfiltered and very uncensored, but jokes about violence I'm not going to say in the short term. Jokes are fine, even if they're about things like that, and I make jokes like that outside of the show a lot, but I'm not going to get banned off Spotify today. I appreciate it, but I do agree. Josh Hammer should be charged with inciting violence for saying the neutralized thing. Let's see. Someone said, Shapiro is a lifeless shill. His blank stare and hollow eyes are the only proof I need of the pure evil that is in this world today. Fuck you, Shapiro. Yeah, Shapiro's evil. He is. He does not give a shit about Americans. He didn't give a shit about dead babies and women. Shapiro is inherently evil. He is demonic in a lot of ways. Okay, this is a long thread. There's a lot of replies here. And this person is a seething douchebag who thought I wouldn't respond. And they even said, they commented to me, they're like, oh, you didn't respond in the comment. Bitch, I respond on the show. Go fuck yourself, you retard. But I'm going to respond right now and debunk your entire bullshit thing. And then there's a thread I'll read after it. Someone goes, you sound like a screaming baby who just learned a new word. Fuck and you, scream Ben. Why don't you talk about every conspiracy theory I believe in your broke ass because you have a podcast like this one? I'm 21 and rich. Why? Because I'm a straight person who believes in the normal way of life, that America is the greatest country and Israel is a good ally who makes good weapons for us, and we give them a few billion for their amazing intelligence they give us. Okay, so we're going to start from the bottom up and debunk that. For the amazing intelligence they give us, was it amazing intelligence when they said that Saddam had weapons of mass destruction? Was that great intelligence? How'd that work out for us? Or what about when their intel agencies were literally, again, this is documented under FBI reports, three Mossad agents, 5 Israeli individuals were dancing, celebrating the 9/11 attacks. Was that good intelligence? What about their intelligence that the USS Liberty was a foreign ship and not a US ship, and that they should attack it? If that's the argument you're going to go under, that they didn't know, then you have to make the same argument that it was bad intelligence. Or you have to admit that they blatantly just attacked the United States on purpose, because you can't have it both ways, you fucking cunt. Let's see. Second thing you said. Israel is a country who makes good weapons. Again, if you think getting raped, robbed, and looted by the country is worth the weapons they give us and that we couldn't manufacture weapons similar in our own country, you're retarded. We spend trillions of dollars on our military, you fucking idiot. And not all of it goes to Israel. We spend a lot of it domestically within America. You're so fucking stupid and ignorant. You said, I'm 21 and rich. Why? Because I'm a straight person who believes in the normal way of life. You're a 21 and rich, but you're commenting on my podcast in the middle of a workday? You're retarded. Shut up. You are a loser. You're broke. Shut up. And again, there's nothing wrong with being broke. I'm fucking broke too. But you're a pussy. You're nothing. You sound like a screaming baby. You just learned a new word, fuck and you. Scream at Ben why you don't want it, why he doesn't want to talk about your conspiracy theories. What conspiracy theories did I say? The USS Liberty is not a conspiracy theory. Every person on the USS Liberty on the America side said they attacked him on purpose. There was an American flag, American hull numbers, and it was broadcasting over airwaves that it was an American ship. So how is that a conspiracy? The Israeli art students is documented by the FBI. The dancing Israelis is documented by the FBI. So what fucking conspiracies are you talking about? The ADL literally designated Turning Point USA as a hate group. They designated America First as a hate slogan. They said that the Great Replacement Theory is hate speech. So what conspiracy theories did I say, you fucking idiot? Because you didn't give any actual examples. You just bitched and moaned like a little pussy. And then I want to thank some of my viewers. I got a little army of viewers right now defending me. I love you guys, just so you know. Someone goes, genuinely, are you retarded? Israel is not our greatest ally, and they do not give us any valuable information. The greatest example would be Netanyahu since the beginning, yapping how Iran has weapons of mass destruction. Based woman. When they don't, and we lose hundreds of thousands of American men. It was more like tens of thousands, but great point, sweetheart. That's good. Intelligence, question mark? Or Netanyahu consistently breaking peace deals and bombing American aid? You are very clearly a retard who is rich from mommy's whore money. Yeah, that's another thought. If you have money at 21 like this and you're claiming it's because you support the American-Jewish or the American-Israel relationship, your literal argument, to go back to your own words, is I'm 21 and rich. Why? Because I'm a straight person who believes in the normal way of life that America is the greatest country and Israel is a good ally. What the fuck does that have to do with being rich unless you're getting paid by them, you fuck? Let's keep going. Also, maybe try punctuation. That paragraph of nonsense is insane. And then this retard goes again. First of all, not one American soldier or Israeli soldier died in the Israel-Iran war. Oh, you're so fucking stupid. You can't even fucking read. You cannot even fucking read. So you're saying no Americans died when we invaded the Middle East over the last 25 fucking years? You fucking idiot. 20 years, whatever it is. Number one, and again, like, where did she say Iran? Did I read it wrong, or are you just retarded? Let's see. I'm gonna go back to her message. She did say Iran, but still, again, you guys, you got her there. I will say that you got her there, but at the same time, you knew what she was talking about, and you twisted it. So you knew exactly what she was talking about, and instead of actually engaging in a good faith conversation about it, you chose to twist it and be like, oh, in the 12-day war that happened earlier this year, no Americans died. Again, you're a fucking idiot if you think that war is over in the first place, but it still doesn't defeat the fact that tens of thousands of Americans died for Israel. It didn't benefit America to go into the Middle East. It actually only created more problems for America. We literally created ISIS, who fucking hates us because of our relationship with you guys. It's fucking insane. And again, if you want to also say like that it's conspiracy theories to talk about the dancing Israelis and the art students, then you're under the position that Muslims committed 9/11 and Osama bin Laden committed 9/11. And if you're under that impression, why don't you stick to all the facts and stick to what Osama bin Laden said himself on video, that it's because of our relationship with Israel? So how the fuck does that benefit us? And then let's go back to your bitch ass message. You said, in the Israel-Iran war, fact number one. Fact number two, I just saw that in Israel, just one ballistic missile hit a hospital and the damage was over $500 million. And that's just one of them. Iran sent hundreds of them. So to say that these were not missiles of mass destruction is just utterly a lie. And what does me having to be rich and smart have to do with your mom being a whore or working in some strip club? Your mom probably is a whore. She should repent. And you're very propagandized, obviously. I urge you, again, I know you're going to be like, I'm not going to watch your bitch ass shit. Fuck you. Go back and watch the show from the night that Iran and Israel were firing missiles at each other, because I played a video of every single missile fired, and they were going shot for shot at each other. And who fired first? Israel. Go fuck yourself, you retard. But then the thread still goes. Someone goes, you're an idiot. Thank you, sir. Thank you, kind sir, for calling out the idiot. And then he goes, the idiot then goes, that's what people who aren't so smart say because they can't intellectually debate. I can intellectually debate you. I will literally have you on my show to debate you, you fucking retard. But if you want, I can intellectually have a conversation with you. You're not able to do that, very obviously, by all your responses. And then the woman viewer goes, LOL, what you're saying just isn't true. The lies and propaganda has truly gotten you, and you're the one who said, I'm 21 and rich. Why? Because I'm a straight white person. Overall, buddy, I don't think you could have an intellectual debate, let alone a conversation. Get out of here. Yeah, again, like that, like all straight white people who love America are just going to be 21 or you're just retarded. You're such a dumb bitch. And then you go, violent wanker calling me unintelligent. I mean, do you realize what you name you gave yourself on Spotify? You must wank real violent. Yeah, it's a woman, you fucking retard. And then they go 4 out of 10 rage bait. Yeah, I agree. Let me throw a little heart on that because that's not even good rage bait. Again, here's a call out to you if you're still watching. I will literally have you on my show to debate you. I will. As long as you have a good faith discussion about it, I will debate you on this topic. But you cannot debate it because you are fucking wrong. Let's see. Someone goes, Shalom, lot of Zionist Jews butthurt in the comments today. Or should I say, lot of perpetual victims in the chat today. Yep. A lot of victim mentality going on in the chat today. I don't fuck with the victim mentality. I do not fuck with it. Someone said, for the sake of America, Ben Shapiro needs... yeah, I'm not going to read that because, again, that's like... I didn't like it when Josh Hammer said it about Tucker, but they said this comment says the same thing they said about that Josh Hammer said about Tucker, that they need to be neutralized. I don't agree with that, but I do like that you're poking fun at the double standard, though. That's where I will agree with you. I just don't think it's good for the America First movement to lower ourselves to their level. I'm not trying to shit on you at all. I'm just trying to this is genuine advice. I don't think it's a good thing for us to fall to their level. They said Tucker should be neutralized, and that is demonic, that is evil, and that is a death threat, essentially. And we shouldn't be falling to the same thing. I pointed out the hypocrisy in that on the episode on the day it happened, where I said if I said this, how would they respond? They would lock me in jail, and that's true, and they will do that. Like, even if they said it themselves, when we say it, they will still make the argument against us that we're doing it as death threats. So I'm gonna urge you not to go on social media saying that for your own sake and safety. And like I said, it's just not good for us to lower ourselves to their disgusting standards. Everyone calls him Ben Shapiro. Like when I'm saying Shapiro in all these comments, it's all Shapiro, and I'm just saying it fast, so it sounds like Shapiro maybe. But this guy goes, Ben Shapiro should just fuck off and go live in Israel already. It seems like he spends half of his time over there anyways. Yep, couldn't agree more. Ben Shapiro should get the fuck out of America. He's not a real American. Someone said, nothing is more dangerous than when people know they're losing power and influence, and Israel's lost the narrative in the United States. The U.S. is in serious danger. There will 100% be another massive false flag attack carried out by the Israel terrorists. Yep, I 100% agree. I think that will happen. I've been talking about this. They're going to push a false flag to get us back into a war with Iran, because the goal was not to just disable their nuclear program. They didn't give a shit about that. They want a regime change in Iran. That's the goal. And the only reason it didn't happen earlier is because of the amount of pushback they were getting from the America Firsters. And that's when they realized how powerful the America First movement was. Someone goes, gotta love the good Shabbos goys calling you an anti-Semite. That's how you know you're doing the right thing. Love this segment. Not a single thing you said was wrong, and it's hard not to be black-pilled doomer about a lot of these things. We just have to keep fighting every day, go to church and start families. God is king. Christ is king. Keep up the good work. Didn't catch Friday's vid in time. Hope it gets reinstated. It got fucking reinstated, baby. We're going to be responding to those comments after this. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it is hard not to be black-pilled sometimes, but the way I look at it and what I tell people is, you can't be. You got to look at it from a perspective of we do live in a generation where we did get a little fucked if you're Gen Z. But what we do have to look forward to is we can be the ones to fix it. We can be, like, men love to accomplish things. And I know this because I'm a guy. We love to accomplish things. We can accomplish this, guys. We can reach this goal. It's right there, and we can fucking grab it and take it. And we can make this country ours again. So I agree with what you're saying. I appreciate the comment. And yeah, it's... Again, when they're calling you an anti-Semite and they're not actually debating you on the facts, again, that's when you know you're hitting the right spots. That's when you know you're hitting their G spots to be a little PG-13. Someone goes, a guy with one of the most Jewish names I've ever heard. I normally don't say the commenter's name, but this guy named Yehuda Gerwitz, or Gewurtz, Yehuda Gewurtz, you genuinely one of the dumbest, most brainwashed people I've ever seen in my life. And then I respond, debate me or shut your bitch ass up. And then all the comments are like, yeah, most Jewish name award, congrats. It's like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. Again, if you're not going to debate me, don't call me an anti-Semite, because I'm just going to shit on you. And then someone goes, you're not an American, you're a anti-Semitic scum. And I go, debate me on it, or you are no different than the rest of the shills. And yeah, again, same thing. Debate me on it, or you are no different than the rest of the shills and the pussies. Let's see. Someone responded to one of my comments going, they killed our president. That should be the first thing exposed. That will be the way to red pill boomers. Yeah, again, boomers don't want to accept the narrative. Like, I kind of agree that would be not the worst place to start, but at the same time, I've tried to talk to boomers about that. Try telling a boomer that, like, about the Jewish mafia and Meyer Langsy and Murder Inc. and how they pumped up the votes in certain states to get JFK elected, and then his brother, Bobby Kennedy, and that when they turned and started prosecuting the Jewish mafia, and they lost all their casinos, and they didn't get them back after the Bay of Pigs failed, it's like, they don't want to listen to that. They just want to hear Lee Harvey Oswald and Jack Ruby, and they don't even pay attention to Jack Ruby. It's really hard to, I mean... And then the retard goes, I noticed you didn't respond to me this time. It's like, bitch, I responded on the show, you fucking idiot. And I wrote to him, I said, don't worry, your dumbass comment will be responded to on the show. And it was, you fucking pussy. You are a shill. Let's see. We're going to go to the comments from the other day's show. Let me try and find them. View by episode, let's see. So these are all the comments from Friday's episode, the Elon Musk on Joe Rogan episode. It goes, let's see, I read that one already. Someone goes, brother, I'm new to your channel. I appreciate what you're doing and saying. As a believer in Christ like yourself, is there a way to tone down the foul words? I believe we have flaws, but work to make Christ look good to others to follow, and you may turn them away as a lukewarm Catholic, those words like Erica Kirk may with how she, it goes on. Like Erica Kirk may with how she dresses, keep up the good work. Yeah, I mean, I do curse in a sinful way occasionally, and every time I do, the first thought in my head is that I did that, and I do go to confession for those sins, and I try and abstain a lot from them. Like, when I do, it's usually cursing somebody directly, but cursing in general is not that bad. But I do agree some people get turned off by it, but at the same time, my show is geared towards Gen Z people, you know, millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha, the generations that got fucked. Like, I want everyone in America to watch my show, but realistically, the Gen Xers and the boomer retards are not going to watch my show. It's going to be the people who feel like they got fucked in this country, because my show is not just like an anti-Israel show. Like, my show is an America show. It's America First show. It's something that puts America over everything else. It's something that we talk about the problems of Gen Z. So yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I try and tone down the language here and there. I try to not always do it. But at the same time, I don't write scripts. I don't plan what I'm going to say. In front of me, I have 4 different Post-it notes. One says elections Kowalski. One says Maddie and Todd Kowalski. One says Mark Levin says we should be afraid. And the other says Brett Cooper video. It's like, I don't really plan out what I'm going to say. I have, you know, an idea of the topics I'm going to speak about, but I just riff and rant and speak how I normally speak in real life. So I appreciate the concern. I kind of agree with you in some ways, but at the same time, I just think that to the audience I'm pitching to, authenticity plays the best, and I try to just be authentic. Someone goes, Josh Hammer looks like a Minecraft villager. Yep, he does. He looks like a retard. Someone says, Altman either did it or ordered it. Why were the security cameras cut? And then Sam with the eyeball emoji is just like, yeah, again, he had no fucking answer for that. Someone goes, Sam Altman has some type of involvement, foreknowledge in regards to the clear-cut assassination, allegedly. CIA, Mossad, they're not going to sue you for a comment. You don't have to say allegedly. I'm saying it on a show. That's different. You don't have to say allegedly in the comments. CIA, Mossad involvement, extremely likely. Voter ID for serials racist. What are we even voting for, though, if both politicians are owned by Israel anyways. Voting is appearing rather fake and gay. JD Vance banging Erica Kirk. Sus. Commie retards say it's friendship, though. I actually think it's a possibility that they are fucking. The more I learn about Erica Kirk's past, the more I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, her entire past goes against everything Charlie spoke about. Charlie would be like, don't date a woman who's posting her body on social media and doing this. She was literally dressing like a slut in pageants. And normally I wouldn't speak poorly about a widow, but it's like Nick said this and I agree with it. She put herself into politics. When they named her CEO of the company, she put herself in the game. And when you're in the game, you're on the table. You're on the table. You are fair game to be shit on, to be praised, all ranges of things. So I have a right to call it out now that if she was just a widow and that's all she was, I would not say a single negative thing ever about her, but she's the CEO of one of the biggest political organizations in this country. I have every right to criticize her in any way. And yeah, I agree with a lot of the first part you're saying too. You're always a funny commenter. I appreciate you tuning in. Someone goes, the left might be irrelevant where you are, but here in Cali, they control almost everything. Rumors are two things have allowed them to do this. Hippie teachers that dominate our public schools. And two, they cheat, stuffing ballot boxes to get their desired outcome. People here are brainwashed, not all, just most. Yeah, those are, I think a lot of the problems are the general wokeness that happens in schools. You're right. They do neuter young men at a very young age. Like if you're a man and you're joking around in class or you're, running around at recess excessively or you're just exerting your normal male behavior, you're looked at as a problem and you're medicated for ADHD and you're told to sit down, be quiet, don't make jokes, don't do they do everything they can to neuter young men and promote feminist bullshit. Teachers are definitely a problem, overwhelmingly liberal, overwhelmingly women. I know Spotify doesn't want me to talk about election fraud, but it happens. We know there's fraud in every election that has ever happened. Like, it's impossible to think that there's never been fraud in elections. And it's fairly obvious which side it's coming from. But it does come from both sides. We can't say it's strictly liberals who engage in that because it does happen in the conservative movement as well. We got to call it out on both sides. Like, I'm very honest about stuff. Like, I can't just only hold one side accountable when it is both sides. Someone goes, love the show, keep it up. Thank you, I appreciate you. Someone goes, who in the hell is Josh Hammer and what makes him relevant? Never heard of him until Charlie Kirk died. He's not relevant at all. He debated a comic, Josh Smith, at Student Action Summit in Tampa, and he got shit on by a comic. He doesn't know fucking anything. He is an Israeli shill, and that's it. And then our last comment we got, someone goes, I used to hate your voice the first couple shows, but now I think we all need to come together. You make a lot of sense, brother. America first, motherfuckers. America first till we fucking die, baby, by hell or high water. I'm going to go on to our YouTube comments. I know we got some there as well. Like I said, it was a popular last couple of days, popular episodes. Popular episodes, guys. I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate that people are tuning in. I've been doing this show for 11 months now, and nobody seemed to give a shit about what I was saying until a few months ago. And then people started tuning in, and I have people telling me that I'm going to be a big voice. I have people telling me that they like my content. They appreciate that, all these things. So I really appreciate it. Like, I genuinely really do. Like, it makes me very happy inside when people comment these things. And at the same time, what makes me the happiest, I haven't got one of those comments today, but I've gotten a lot of them in the past. I think I'm at 6 now, which isn't a ton, but it's awesome. I've had 6 people tell me they've gone back to the Catholic Church. That's amazing. And over everything, that's what this is about. We're putting America first. We're bringing people back to Christ. That's what this is about over everything. It's not about me. It's not about my views. It's not about what I want personally. It's about America. It's about Christ. Christ is king. America first, always. Let's see. Someone goes, one long waffle with no video with Shapiro. Yeah, douchebag. Did you want me to show the whole 45-minute video? Sorry to call you a douchebag. Shouldn't do that. You might be a nice guy, but again, maybe I'll do a reaction, but why? The guy's fucking scum. He doesn't deserve a reaction. I like to react to things I enjoy. This guy goes, I don't like Tucker with his pink lips, nor do I care for his boyfriend, ankle grabber Nick Fuentes. Shut up, you're a pussy. I don't hate Israel. I think that the threats need to end after Charlie's assassination. That being said, I don't condone anyone threatening to kill anyone. Israel does need to stay out of the U.S. government business. Israel doesn't own the U.S., China, and India do. Right? Your views are bullshit. What the fuck? Like, you're so fucking brainwashed and stupid. I'm trying to think of a way to be nice about this, but it's like, how can you be nice to someone so retarded? Dude, saying Israel does... I'm not saying no other countries have influence on American politics, but no countries have the stronghold that Israel has on us. Like, I could criticize... What are the other countries? China and India. I could literally say disgusting things about those countries, and nobody would give a shit. If I say disgusting things about Israel, I have people like these fucking Shabbos Goy in my fucking comments telling me that I'm an anti-Semite scum and I'm not a real American when they're not. Like, fuck off. You're retarded. Someone goes, I subscribed to you not knowing who you were after Charlie Kirk's assassination. I heard one show and subbed. About a month later, watching your show, I realized you have a small following, but because of your ability to monologue seamlessly and your intentions makes me believe I am one of the first proud subscribers and you are going to grow exponentially. There is some shit you say that I disagree with, but I understand what your message is to actually put America first, which will help other fellow nations, and fuck APEC and the entire American lobby system. Based. And again, that's the thing. We can disagree. All I ask is when we disagree is have a good faith discussion about it, engage in debate. Don't just shit on people. And like, I appreciate you saying you disagree because that's fine. I know I have a lot of viewers who disagree with me. Not everyone. Like, if I was to say you have to agree with my point or don't watch my show, I would be an asshole. I would be a retard. And I would never go anywhere. I don't expect everyone to agree with everything I say. I like to do political commentary. I like to do satirical and funny rants. I like to make fucking jokes. I know not everyone's going to agree with a lot of the things I say. But yeah, we do need to put America first. And that's what this is about. This is about America first in Christ. That is what this entire show is about. Let's see. Someone goes... Nick is Mexican, and that's the last comment we have. Oh yeah, what are you, fucking Sherlock Holmes now? Like, you're like, his last name's Fuentes, you fucking idiot. No shit, Sherlock. Fucking retard sometimes. Oh my. Okay, let's refresh the page, check if we have any more comments that popped up while I was filming or while I was reading those real quick. That seems to be all the comments. We're going to sign off today. I do want to remind everyone to like, smash the follow button, rate the show 5 stars on Spotify if you enjoyed the show. Leave a comment. We'll read the comments at the end of every show. I like to respond to the comments, interact with the viewers. I like to know what you guys are thinking. And again, if you guys do disagree with me on anything, that's fine. All I ask is you engage in a real debate about it. Don't just say you're an anti-Semitic scum or you're not American, because you just seem like a low IQ retard when you do things like that. The people in my comments who are just not actually debating, like, at least the one guy had a little bit of balls to debate some things, but he didn't even make any real points. He countered the one Iranian point, but that's it. Nothing else. He's a fucking shill and a pussy and a retard if he doesn't actually debate me. But I'm going to sign off today. Again, please remember to like, smash the follow button, smash the subscribe button, leave a comment, rate the show 5 stars, and follow on Spotify, and join our Telegram channel. If they end up deleting any of my channels, I want people to be able to still get in touch with me and be able to still see my show. So join the Telegram channel. You'll know, our show upload schedule. If I upload a little late, like today, I'm uploading an hour later than I usually do. You would know that, though, if you were in the Telegram channel, because I keep people updated on that stuff. So please remember to join. Please remember to, again, like, smash the follow button, do all that stuff. Hope you guys have a great day, a blessed night, and I will see you guys tomorrow on Wednesday. Thank you.